It was just past midnight in Korea on July 20, 2025, when Jungkook quietly went live on Weverse. No warning, no promotion, just him. Hair slightly tousled, hoodie on, and a guitar resting beside him. The moment the live notification popped up, fans from around the world flooded into the stream, unaware that they were about to witness something unforgettable. Jungkook greeted fans with a soft "annyeong" and smiled shyly into the camera. There was no flashy setup, no background dancers or stage lighting, just one man, one voice, and the honesty that fans love him for. And then, he started singing. The opening chords of Justin Bieber's Changes filled the air. The song choice wasn't random. It's a ballad about growing up, dealing with fame, emotional burnout, and evolving as a person. As Jungkook sang the lyrics, "Some days I move like water, some days I burn like fire," his voice trembled, not from weakness, but from raw, lived emotion. In that moment, fans could feel it. This wasn't just a cover. It was a confession, a letter, a mirror of Jungkook's heart. After the song ended, he looked up, eyes shining a little, and chuckled softly. "I love Bieber Hyungnem. His lyrics, they hit differently these days." Then came the moment that truly shattered the hearts of millions watching. Jungkook leaned back and sighed. I'm 30 now, in Korean age. Can you believe it? People are starting to call me Ajusi now, even jokingly. But sometimes I still feel like I'm 18, just debuting, dancing with youngs." He paused, and for a few seconds, it felt like time stood still. "I don't mind growing older, but sometimes I wonder, will you still love me the same when I'm not the youngest anymore? When I don't have that maknae image?" The live chat exploded with hearts, crying emojis, and fans assuring him, "We'll love you forever. You're not just the golden maknae, you're our golden heart. You only get more beautiful with time, Jungkook." There was no announcement, no spoilers, no teasers, just Jungkook's voice, his truth, and a deep longing to connect. In a world full of filters, edits, and perfectly curated images, that simple live broadcast reminded everyone why Jungkook is so beloved, not just as a performer, but as a human. It was real. It was vulnerable. It was him. And for ARMYs, that was more than enough. In just under 30 minutes, Jungkook reminded the world of something they hadn't felt so deeply in a long time: the beauty of vulnerability in the spotlight. This wasn't a comeback teaser or a commercial live. This was Jungkook, post-military, raw and unfiltered. Not just a pop star, not just a K-pop idol, but a man confronting time, legacy, and emotion in front of millions. And that's what made it unforgettable. Since his debut at 15, Jungkook has grown up under the microscope. Every haircut, tattoo, performance, and live stream has been dissected and adored. But this moment felt different. There was a shift, not just in how fans saw him, but in how he saw himself. "It's not about being the youngest anymore," he said softly during the live. "It's about who I want to become next." Those words hit ARMYs like thunder. It was a subtle declaration that Jungkook was stepping into a new era, one where he's no longer the baby of BTS, but a mature artist with stories to tell, scars to share, and music that mirrors real life. Within hours, the Weverse Live became the talk of social media globally. In Seoul, LED screens played clips of him singing Changes. In New York and London, fan cafes and K-pop stores lit candles in tribute. In Jakarta, Manila, and Bangkok, fans held spontaneous live-watching reruns in parks and cafes. He wasn't performing, he was reflecting, and we were allowed to witness that, another fan posted. "I grew up with Jungkook. I'm turning 32, and hearing him talk about change, uncertainty, and identity made me sob like a child. He's more than my idol, he's a mirror of our generation." In Brazil, a group of fans trended #Jungkook Você é Art, meaning, "Jungkook, you are art." In France, fan collectives began preparing for a letter-writing campaign titled "Letters to 30-Year-Old Jungkook," sharing what he's meant to their lives. One line from his live continues to echo across fan communities. "Will you still love me when I'm not the youngest anymore?" It wasn't a joke. It was a quiet confession, a fear that fame, youth, and love are all tied together and that they might not last forever, but armies weren't having it. Fan responses poured in, like love letters across the internet. "We didn't love you because you were young. We love you because you're you. Jungkook, you're timeless. Even when you're 80, we'll still be here, still listening, still proud." This isn't the end of an era, it's the beginning of a new one. Jungkook is no longer just the golden maknae, he's the golden storyteller, the golden voice, the golden soul of a generation learning to grow up without losing their heart. His quiet, late-night Weavers Live was more than just a check-in. It was a reminder that even the brightest stars wonder if they'll still shine when the lights fade, and that love, when real, grows stronger with time. For many armies, especially those in their late 20s and early 30s, Jungkook's recent reflections felt eerily personal. They remember the teenage boy singing Begin on the Wings tour, his nervous smile during BTS's first US TV performance, his evolving tattoos, late-night lives, and quiet tears at stadium concerts. And now they see a man, no longer the shy youngest, but someone confronting life's biggest questions right alongside them. In this live, Jungkook wasn't just speaking as an idol, he was speaking as a human, one who has grown in front of millions and now wonders if those millions will stay with him as he steps into his 30s. "We grew up with Jungkook," one fan wrote. "When he talks about feeling like time passed too fast, he's not just talking about himself, he's talking about all of us." Although Jungkook didn't directly mention music plans, his emotional delivery of Changes, a deeply personal and reflective song, has fans speculating wildly about a potential solo project themed around adulthood, identity, and time. Clues fans noticed during the live. A guitar in the background, hinting at acoustic or stripped-down music. His tone when saying, "I've been thinking a lot lately about what kind of music I want to make next." A sudden pause before adding, "I want to tell stories that are real now. Things I couldn't say before." Could this mean an album focused on maturity, real emotions, or even a collaboration with Justin Bieber? Online forums lit up with theories. Jungkook's next album will be his most personal yet. The Bieber cover wasn't random. A collab might be coming. Is he entering his artistic era? The way he sang tonight felt like he was saying goodbye to the past. There's something about Jungkook's silence between words that speaks louder than most idol interviews. He doesn't over-explain, he doesn't dramatize, but when he sings, or even when he quietly says, "I wonder if I've changed too much," the emotion in his voice becomes unbearable in the best way. It's this quiet strength that makes him special. Not flashy, not overly produced, just real. In an industry that often demands perfection, Jungkook reminds fans that growth is not linear and vulnerability is not weakness. He's a star who lets you see the cracks, and that's what makes him shine even brighter, one fan from Argentina posted on X. Fan clubs around the world are already organizing campaigns to celebrate Jungkook turning 30 in Western age later this year. Some are planning a project called Golden 30, a digital time capsule of messages, artwork, videos, and letters to Jungkook, expressing love that has nothing to do with age and everything to do with loyalty, healing, and shared history. Others are preparing birthday projects themed around time, reflecting his recent sentiments. One fan summed it up best. Jungkook thinks we'll leave when he's no longer the maknae. But what he doesn't know is we were never here just for the youngest. We were here for the soul that kept us believing in something beautiful. When Jungkook enlisted in December 2023, fans feared a silence they weren't ready for. But the real surprise wasn't the absence, it was the transformation that followed. Now, in July 2025, the man who returned is not the same golden maknae who left. "He's not softer," one fan wrote after watching his Weavers live. "He's deeper. He's carrying something inside now, something heavier, but also more honest." Military life is known to change people, but for someone like Jungkook, whose life has been lived under a magnifying glass since age 15, the contrast is even more striking. His recent expressions, subtle pauses, longer silences, meaningful words, reflect a man who has lived without a stage, without applause, and survived. He came back with something more powerful than any award or chart position: a stronger sense of self. Golden July, a movement, not just a month. Fans have now begun calling this moment Golden July, a term trending globally across platforms like Weavers, TikTok, and X, Twitter, as fans unite to celebrate Jungkook's return, growth, and emotional openness. In Seoul, fan murals have appeared with the phrase, "He went to serve and came back with a soul even brighter." In the US, playlists titled Jungkook, the man, not just the idol, are racking up millions of streams. In London, fans gathered in Hyde Park singing Still With You and Seven as a tribute to the journey they've shared with him. What makes Golden July different from other fan-led campaigns is that it's not just about streaming or birthday projects. It's about reflection, about recognizing the cost of being Jungkook and celebrating him for enduring all of it with grace.